Hello everyone. Before we start today's video, if you could all do me a solid and lightly tap the like button, perhaps share the video about and leave a comment. If you are not subscribed, subscribe as well. It would greatly help this channel. Thank you very much. Well, isn't this just fantastic? Captain's Log, Subjects 221228.1. Dorky is busy falsifying the order request to include an immediate exterminatus in place of the original orders. The region we once inhabited shall then be renamed the Moistonian region. Oh, and we'll be docking soon. Yay! Hello everyone, welcome to the exhibition of stupid people. Today we will start with a £250 bottle of Prime, possibly. Maybe. I hear it's expensive. Prime is the drink created by KSI and Logan Paul. Logan Paul's been having a number of issues of late, more notably with a alleged crypto scam. So he's gone on a blocking spree on Twitter with anyone calling him out for it. Not that it will harm Prime as a brand, KSI is still fairly untouchable. In the case of what we're going to talk about today, it concerns Emma Daisley. Emma Daisley made a 500-mile journey to pick up 6 bottles of Prime for her kids. She travelled from her Scottish home to Yorkshire. Prime is quite hard to get hold of at the moment. In fact, I noticed KSI on many occasions tweeting about it either being out of stock or in stock and more stock coming. Prime itself has a Twitter account talking about price changes, and we'll get to that soon as well. Asda is the more notable supermarket in the United Kingdom that stocks Prime. I have no idea what Prime is, by the way, other than it being a beverage created by Logan Paul and KSI. In Asda, it sells for £2, although apparently it went up to £2.50 briefly before backtracking and going back to £2. We know this because of the Prime Tracker UK Prime Twitter account. Yeah, that one. The store in question that they stopped at is called Wakey Wines. The children wanted to stop there because they were on holiday and on the way back from Legoland. Yeah, Wakey Wines is regarded as one of the most expensive newsagents in the United Kingdom. The extortionate price tags, yeah, haha, nah. This is something many newsagents do, to be honest. They increase the markup price to increase their profit share because otherwise they wouldn't be able to keep up with supermarkets, who can reduce the prices much lower because they sell more of it, but also lean on the manufacturers to give them more so they can have sales, which in turn means that they then can have more customers come to them. Clever, right? That's why Heinz went to war with a supermarket, or a number of supermarkets. I believe it was appropriate because they themselves, Heinz, were losing out on money. In a TikTok video, Emma boasted that she had splashed out £250 on a gift set of the drink that contains 3 bottles. But they also bought 3 more bottles, so 6 in total. In the video, the owner of the store asked one of the children why come to the store and simply replies, Prime. I don't think for a second, just to be clear, that she paid £250 for 6 bottles. Because that doesn't really work when you work out the math. Even with a gift set, it makes no sense. If they retail for £2, the markup price alone for each individual bottle would be £41.66, which wouldn't make a whole lot of sense at all, to be honest. Mostly because you could get a train to go from one corner of the country to the other, get the bottles, get home, and it would cost less. It really would. Now, KSI himself had reached out and said, do not pay that much for Prime. I know people want Prime, okay? Just wait or camp out at Asda nice and early and pay £2. Come on, this is outrageous. You should not be paying £25 for 1 bottle of Prime. You can tell he's not very good at mathematics. Because of the popularity of Prime, many shops in Scotland have actually been upping their price as well. The supply and demand rule comes into full effect. So it's entirely KSI and Logan Paul's fault, right? That's who we blame for this, right? The hell is Prime anyway? Oh, and just because this tickles me to no end, it costs nearly £20 on Amazon for a bottle of Prime. Not even a joke. I don't understand it. It's just an energy drink. Monster exists, right? Relentless, No Fear, Red Bull, even Sneak do energy cans. Come on, you could do so much better. I don't drink energy drinks anymore myself, so I have no real vested interest or horse in this race. But at the same time, fam, come on. 500 millilitres for $18.99? I'd rather have prostate cancer. Alright, so next we're going to talk about some NHS overkill. And by this I mean those who work for the NHS who are overworked, underpaid and poorly treated on a daily basis. There is a reason there is a shortage of certain members of staff within the NHS, and no, it is not those that work within the bureaucracy of it. because there's plenty of those dickheads, making a lot of money and not doing so much, but going out of their way to punish people who perhaps shouldn't be punished as severely as the person we're going to be talking about today. Because I will concede, the error they made is an error, but not to the level they are treated as, where they are treated as if they have committed a literal prison-worthy crime. Francesca Morgan, an NHS nurse, lost her job because she was caught stealing. Now we all know a good tea leaf here and there, a 5-finger discount on valuable goods. Within the NHS, realistically, there's only one: medication. Some of the supplies, perhaps, you could argue PPE, certainly during the coup time. And this is where the crime took place, towards the end of it in June of 2021. I will say, for the sake of it though, when it comes to the NHS, you'll never get a doctor's appointment anymore, because apparently they don't exist, like unicorns and Brussels sprouts that taste good. And you won't see many nurses because they're too busy working off the vast numbers of calluses on their feet, because they've been running around all day covering for the doctors who don't exist, or getting bollocked for the failings of the doctors. During the month of June 2021, a number of pills were going missing, a large number of pills, at the Arrow Park Hospital, which is near Liverpool. So what the hospital did was install secret cameras. On 2 separate occasions, Francesca Morgan was seen taking a cocodamol pill and a paracetamol tablet. Now, it was for her based on an assumption, and this is where it got her into trouble. The assumption was based on the fact that everyone else around her had been doing it, so she had believed she was allowed to do it. She was placed on leave and investigated and charged. Not even a joke, this went to a magistrate's court. Theft by employee, that is what she was charged with. 2 offences in fact of it. As a consequence, she was granted a 12-month conditional discharge. Now for me, this should never have gone this far. The mistake was made because she had headaches. That's not surprising, considering the stress of the environment. And she was, by the prosecution, admitted to be not one of the main culprits of this, just somebody that had taken them without permission alone. The inferred or implied permission was because of everyone else. So if anyone goes to this hospital and notices there is an even bigger shortage of nurses, the reason why is because they were all fired, which does include Francesca Morgan, who was given a 12-month conditional discharge. She'd already lost her home, her job, and has had to move in with her grandparents. What an absolutely shocking display, when all you had to do, once she had admitted to it, was simply say to her, "Don't do it again please, get back to work, because we need nurses, you dickheads." And in before someone makes the inevitable complaint about the pills and medication, and perhaps I'm not taking this as seriously as I should be, even the prosecution themselves concede she wasn't really seeking to steal it, she had ingested it and was seen taking it on camera. She's not an addict either, one was paracetamol and the other cocodamol. Genuinely, just headaches. Moving on.
I would like to facilitate the creation of legislation that holds people accountable for the actions that they do online.
Do you mean like terms of service? Because I've heard rumours such a, thing exists. Because there are in fact laws in countries that enforce companies when it comes to their own TOS. I'm going to play more and I'll explain the actual context for this soon, I promise.
I don't know if I should get into the details because it might rattle some folks, but yes.
Bit condescending, don't you think? Oh, arbiter of truth, would you like to tell me more? And yes, I'm inserting these clips of audio from myself high, because of copyright.
I think there are some companies that I'm going to message, or not companies, organizations that are involved with certain causes, and I'll be like, listen, if you ever need someone to... I'm your girl.
That's only because you're one of the most protected creators online. People have been yeeted for criticizing you, off many platforms in fact. You are almost untouchable, which is amusing for somebody who used the N-word multiple times on stream. Stones and glass houses.
Because I think if you want to pass a bill, you usually go in front of a group of politicians and you explain your cause. I'm like, I'll do it. I will do it.
Other than politicians paying lip service to you, you will often find they don't give a damn about what you think. Now the context. Originally I saw this via Nick Diorio, who tweeted completely out of touch with reality. He did further though elaborate on a point that she was actually referring to, which means the video itself, which is 57 seconds long, can be regarded as out of context when you add her context to it. And that concerns revenge porn, okay? Now, we spoke about this when it concerned Nada a couple days ago. You shouldn't do it. It is, though, in fact, illegal in all 50 states of the United States where she, Pokimane, resides. Therefore, a completely redundant thing. So the greater question now is, why would Pokimane mention it? And it is not because of any legitimate revenge, that content of her online. In fact, it's entirely because of her mistake, because of an outfit she wore that fell apart during a stream, her stream, concerning one of her knockers falling out of the outfit in question. A nip slip, I guess, is the correct term. Is that video or imagery doing its rounds in any way revenge that word? No, it is not. It is highly inappropriate, of course it is, but you can argue semantics at the same time and say it is. The problem with what Pokimane said was, you can easily take it out of context and apply it to so much to regulate, enforce, and, well, police the internet to a degree that would make even her own job very complicated, because the window of acceptable conversation will be diminished to a degree, to the point you will at best be able to say hello and goodbye. I know, reductio ad absurdum, why would Meg say that? Because he's correct. And you know I am. Too many people get offended too easily. Your boob will forever remain on the internet. You know this. I am almost certain for many years to come, Pokimane will be able to remain and maintain the squeaky clean cookie cutter one expression facial expression forever. No doubt of that in my mind. However, reality is, one of your boobs fell out. Trying to get politicians to legislate to ban something that's already banned, but in the context of your boob, which is more than likely what it's about, I don't see happening until the Democrats hold a resounding majority and your simpage has found its way into Congress. So, Insurrection Take 2 Electric Boogaloo? Now to finish, we're going to talk about something that is festive related, and I know it's a bit late, but it's hilarious and I want to share it. Drunk Santas in a tank cause chaos after getting stuck on narrow village road. A group of boozy Santas found themselves on the naughty list when they tried to drive a tank through a tiny festive village. Residents left fuming when the enormous metal beast got stuck and blocked access to their famously decorated streets. The group of military reenactors descended upon the quaint Cornish village dressed as Sandy Claus in a vintage armoured personnel carrier, with some of the group being heard slurring their words, gesticulating wildly when the tank got stuck in the middle of Angarak. That's the place. A traffic warden can in turn be heard giving the Santas a good telling off, insisting, "You cannot come in with your tank. There are cars parked there. You are not going to get through. Essentially, you shall not pass." Not gonna lie, I thought it looked absolutely resplendent, and I wish that tank had used its flak, laid down some smoke, and unleashed the Space Marines. Thought I'd end on this because I thought it was funnier, alright? Drunk Santas are best Santas. And while belated, and I should have done this last week, the article was dropped on me just around the time of Christmas itself. Sorry, but I couldn't resist. Ta-ta, everyone.